So I have manifested this moment.
Congratulations!
The only thing faster than light is the darkness.
Yes, of course.
You look cool. Your dress is beautiful.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
What is this, like Studio 54?
I don't know, it's like vintage. My mom.
I love it. It's beautiful.
It's really cute.
It's good.
Blow it out.
Blow it out. Blow it out. Blow it out.
Shake it out.
This is
You know, they told me
crazy.
dogs shake to change the energy.
Yeah, I need good. I need all this
So you're supposed to
positivity.
get water off them.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's
Sure.
No, no, I thought it was, that's great to know.
Jaleesa with BlackTree TV.
Yeah, it's really
changes the energy.
Right here.
Yep, you're good. Right there. Anytime you're ready.
Hi, ladies.
Is it Jaleesa?
Jaleesa.
Jaleesa.
Jaleesa, pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
This is such a surreal moment for me because, Oprah, you're my vision board for
Am I?
2018.
Really?
And I am here, so I have manifested this moment.
Congratulations.
That's
That's great.
So I am here. It is an honor. And, you know, I'm just curious, Oprah, at this stage in your career, and for you all as well, do you even have a vision board? And if so, what type of things are on it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good question.
No.
Do you have one? I don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I do. I still have things I want to accomplish and things I want to do. I think there's so much more to do. And I think the great thing about life is you have so many chapters.
Yes.
And they got to be all different, too. You got to mix it up.
I want to run a marathon.
You do?
I want
Do
to
it.
before
I support you in that.
You've done it.
I've done it. I support you in that. Everybody should do one.
One.
Yeah,
I
you
wanna
should do
that.
one.
Let's do it, though. A Wrinkle in Time. We'll do a Wrinkle in Time marathon.
You know, but I don't vision board anymore because I am a powerful manifester, and I know that, and I know how to do it without physically putting it on a board. I know how. You know, you have to. You want to know how to do it?
Absolutely.
You have to meet the vibration. You can't be above or below it. It's just what I was talking about, negative energy, positive energy. In order to draw the thing to you that you want to come, you can't want it so much that you fear that you won't get it. You have to want it. So in order for me to be on your vision board, you must have put it there and then you let it go.
Yes.
And then you weren't thinking about it every day. Because you can't, it doesn't come to you that way. You have to do it, and then you have to put it, and then you have to meet that vibration. You have to prepare yourself to be there and ready when it shows up. And you were. Jaleesa, you were there.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
That's such a word, and it makes me think about, in A Wrinkle in Time, there was so many powerful messages that were very spiritual, very deep, and I just want to touch on them for a second. So the first one, you know, they said, you can fear the answers, but you can't avoid them. And I'm curious, Oprah, throughout your journalism career, have you ever asked a question that it was difficult for you to hear the answer to?
Yeah, I actually have, and I won't tell you who the person was. I got really shut down by someone who said, that's a stupid question, and it would be the person you least in the world would expect to say that, which is every journalist's fear, you know, to be in a position where you ask a question, and the person said, well, that's a stupid question. And I refused to let myself be shut down, but I was so taken aback by it. And then I was like, well, was it stupid, or was you didn't understand what I was saying? So,
Hold on.
and so, but I didn't let that deter me. I didn't let that deter me at all.
Call me Mrs. Whatsit.
Mrs. Who?
No, Mrs. Whatsit. Mrs. Who is, she's like a billion years older and way more knowledgeable.
What can I do for you, Mrs. Whatsit?
I called her ceiling sheets. Guys, she's harmless.
You're 6. Come on. What do you know about harmless?
Have I ever been wrong?
Well, one of these days you might be Charles Wallace.
Oh, I highly doubt that. He's one of the greatest minds in recent history. He's prodigious. But of course, we can't take any credit for our talents. It's how we use them that counts.
Absolutely. And there's another powerful quote. The wound is the place where the light enters you.
We were just talking
That's
about
it.
That is,
Yes,
it's so deep. And I would just love to know, you know, is there a painful moment in you all's life that actually ended up being enlightening?
For sure.
Almost every painful moment
Every
to
pain-
me
yeah, oh, yeah,
has
that's true.
has become something that I've learned from. I think losing a parent is something that I've learned so much from that. And you get a lot of strength from those kinds of things. And what about you?
Yeah, I've been divorced, I've been a single mom, and just a lot of things that I thought, oh, this is gonna be the end of me, and it wasn't. I was okay.
The reason why that, we were just talking about this before you came in, the reason why that, thank you for bringing it to our attention, the reason why the wound quote is so profound is because once you've been around as long as I have, you know that there is not one single thing that has ever happened to you or will happen to you that will be wasted. If you look at every single crisis, difficulty, challenge, every joy-filled moment that comes into your being, everything is there showing up to make you more of who you were meant to be. And it's showing there to help, it's showing up there to help you. Nothing ever is wasted.
A Wrinkle in Time. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Very
Jaleesa.
touching.
Thank you. I hope.
Love is always there, even if you can't see it.
Jamaal, Finkley, BlackTree TV.
BlackTree!
I'm so honored to sit here with my friend and see this extraordinary journey that you've been on. I mean, your character, the Meg's character in the story reminds me of you in a way. And it goes to my first question, like you've had all these great projects, but you've never really had an opportunity to have a real young protagonist in the film. Like how was telling that story through the lens of a younger person different for you?
Well, I just never took the time in my films to just play. Because I felt like as a black woman filmmaker, I really wanted to assert a certain voice, and there were things I wanted to deal with. So the first film was dealing about grief, I Will Follow. The second film was about incarceration. The third film was about Dr. King. The fourth film, 13th, is about the criminal justice system. And this just gave me an opportunity to say, can we get a little black girl magic? Can we just, let's see what else we can do, and can I even do it?
Yeah.
And so this is just a really, sweet slice of happiness for young people. Just to remind them about the best in themselves, especially in this dark, kind of chaotic time that we're in. I had so much fun making it, and I got to work with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your character is perfect in being imperfect in a character. And as Ava spoke about the young people today and what they're going through, do you think that's a lesson that young people need to be able to adopt more, that it's not about being perfect, but...
Yeah, absolutely, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure in this world today saying that you need to be perfect and you have to be what society wants you to be, or you have to do what society wants you to do. So I feel like having Meg and letting the world know, or letting young people know that they don't have to do that and they're fine just the way they are and they could save the world just the way they are.
This is our Father. Can you help us find him, please? Please.
I can't tell what they're saying.
I can. They speak color. Oh, he did? Oh, really? Oh, don't say. Yep, he was here. They saw him tesser here. But he continued to explore, they say, somewhere in that direction. Let's go!
With all their challenges and all their faults, I think it's very monumental and timeless and very needed right now.
Yeah. There's a line in the movie, I don't want to get it wrong, where it says, it's not your talents, but what you do with them.
Yes.
What you do with them.
Yes.
And for you, Ava, I've seen your journey from figures of speech to a publicist to this. How have you been able to take all these different talents that you displayed in your career and make meaning of it? Like, how have you been able to?
For me, it's just about pushing yourself forward. I didn't pick up a camera, as you know, till I was 32 years old. And you know me, you knew me when I was a publicist. And so to say, you know what, I'm passionate about making films, not just marketing films, let me try. And then started independent films, let me try studio films. Within studio films, let me try a doc. Let me try Dr. King. Let me try a kid's fantasy. That's how we move ourselves forward, is just getting out of the boxes that people try to put us in. So I've tried to just be like boxless, no boxes. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed, but we have to keep pushing. Oprah's a great example of that. You keep pushing forward. You have a successful talk show, but you take The Color Purple too. You know what I mean? You have the show, but then you collapse that show, you make a network. You make a book club when no one had book clubs. You open a girls' school in South Africa. It's like, keep pushing. Life is limitless if you think in that way. And we know so many people who've come from humble beginnings who've really been able to elevate their lives by pushing boundaries.
Wrinkle in Time has been such an important book to so many people. I know this came on the heels of you being in discussion for Black Panther. And like, what was so important about this film that made you say, I have to do this film?
There's a story of a girl at its center, and when Disney said that they agreed with me that that girl could be a girl of color, it became so important to me, more important than any other film, to be able to put a girl of color hopping planets, saving the universe, flying. These are images that have not been made before. So the opportunity to make those around a black girl was too irresistible to pass up.
Okay, Storm, I can't wait to see your career.
Juliana, Bolden, BlackTree TV.
Anytime.
So, in viewing Wrinkle in Time last night, one of the things that stood out to me was the chemistry between the two of you as parents, as a couple. How did you bring Dr. Alex and Kate to life in the beginning? Did you get scripts around the same time and start working together immediately?
Not at all, no. It was just the luck of the draw. I mean, chemistry is an ineffable thing that just is either there or it's not. And Gugu's a lovely human, and I think we, I don't know, just got along pretty quickly, and I don't know. And then you're kind of this crazy situation where you're thrust in the first day of work, and you're like, and you've been together for 15 years, and go.
Action. Yeah, and it's kind of, you know, we did have relatively few scenes to sort of create this dynamic of a lived-in marriage, you know, and then obviously we're separated for the duration of the movie. So, you know, it was really sort of talking to Ava and her sort of weaving in the backstory of them growing up together as scientists, and that they weren't just sort of a meeting of hearts, but also a meeting of minds. They're sort of intellectual equals, and that's sort of part of the chemistry and the attraction between them, is that, you know, both pioneering scientists and, you know, pioneers in their field. So so yeah, it was kind of, you know, fun to explore, and as I say, in very brief details.
Well, in that, even though it may have been brief at times, we still got a sense of the struggle, not only between there was some mention of ego versus the soul, and needing to take care of family, take care of self. Had either one of you seen struggles like this growing up in your lives? Because I understand that one of your parents was a doctor, and you went to Cal in the Bay Area, so I'm sure you've met people that worked in the sciences. Did you draw upon any experiences from folks that you knew that worked in these fields?
No, I think for me it's what it means to be human, is the struggle for the soul is for something greater and bigger and spiritual, and the struggle of the ego is for something pretty concrete and something that can be defined by money or power or status or any of those markers. So I think my character's struggle was just a really kind of cosmic version of what I guess we all go through. I don't know.
So, what if we are here for a reason? What if we are not just in the universe, but the universe is within all of us?
Think about quantum entanglement. Two electrons, once bonded together, in love, if you will, suddenly separated by a galaxy, but somehow still just as connected. An unbroken union despite being galaxies apart.
And our most recent calculations show us that these fields connect us to other dimensions. Dimensions outside of the limitations of space and time. Imagine that, imagine. Rather than enduring the oppressive rules of time and space, we could wrinkle it. 91 billion light years traveled like that.
Well, last question. The struggle with light energy versus dark energy. When you guys were filming, with all the things going on in the world, Me Too, gun control, kids being scared to go to school, were there things that you were drawing upon that were happening in the real world that inspired you while you all were filming?
Well, I think, you know, you always take the world that you live in, you know, as your inspiration. I think, you know, for me, you know, and we were actually shooting, gosh, like more than a year ago. I can't remember specifically what was in the news at that exact moment, but you know, I think that that's the great thing about the story. Light versus darkness is so universal, and I think, you know, especially this story where it's a young woman having to become a warrior. I think, you know, certainly with the women's movement and how that has ignited in the last few months, I think, you know, certainly a character and an actress like Storm being at the center of a story like this and taking her power couldn't be more relevant.
Absolutely.
Where are we?
We heard a cry out in the universe.
Father's alive.
We believe he is, and we're here to help you find him.
This morning, my first phone call was from Ava, who said, "How you doing?" I go, "It's our day!"
This is incredible. This is like the Oscars. I can't believe this. I've never been to something so glamorous in my life.
It was so exciting when I got the call that Ava wanted to consider me for one of the parts, and I told my agent, yes, I want to do this, because she's just so thoughtful in her filmmaking.
It's just a movie about light. This is a movie for young people and people who are young at heart. So we're here to celebrate, and gosh, I'm just really thrilled to share it finally.
To work with Ava DuVernay was a big draw for me. And this incredible cast that she's assembled, I mean, it's just amazing.
We're hoping that we've done the book some justice, but it is a movie, and it's a very special movie in its own right.
It's always fun, you know, you can never tell what people are going to think, but Ava made a beautiful film.
It's fun to see it on the big screen. There's something about the images that really lends itself to seeing it huge. The flying and the planet hopping and the other dimensions. So it's going to be fun to see it tonight for the first time with an audience.
This entire message about this movie is just to embrace the light from within, and that you are enough and you are worthy of being loved, and once you tap into that, you can save the world.
Have faith in who you are.
You are enough. That is what all the misses are trying to tell Meg. No matter what your flaws are, embrace them. You are enough.
We are in search of warriors.
Warriors who serve the good and the light in the universe.
You're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
A little.
I'm not. I'm not.